What's up, YouTube? It's Heretic here, and welcome back to a brand new week as we are less than 1 week away from Fort Wayne Regionals. Alright, let's hear a little silent round of applause for that. Okay, so today we are looking at a deck that I didn't think was going to still have any staying power in standard post-rotation, but it actually did manage to have a little bit of a showing down in Florida last month, and that is Raichu Golbat, since Crobat rotated out of format. So, of course, our main attacker is Raichu, Circle Circuit for 2 colorless, dealing 20 damage times the number of your benched Pokemon. So, normal cap out of 100 with Skyfield, that goes up to 160, since it doesn't count himself. So, 90 HP single prize attacker, stage 1, free retreat is nice. And, of course, it evolves from the face of the franchise, Pikachu. So, we have that. I like Nuzzle a little bit more than Agility for the paralysis effect, but, you know, you can kind of go either way. Agility gets Lysandered around and can be rangered out of, whereas Nuzzle, you can't do either one. So, that's kind of my 2 cents there. A lot of switch methods right now are based around Floatstone as well, so that makes paralysis that much better. We also have a 4-4 Golbat line. No Crobat, so we're going strictly on the Golbat train. So, obviously, when you evolve Golbat from Zubat, playing it from your hand, you get to place 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon that's in play. It also has Swoop Across for 1 energy, which does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. Probably not going to use that too much, but it's cool, you know, in a pinch could be good. And then 4 Shamans to round us out. I've opted not to include my Lodic or anything kind of fancy like that, Mr. Mime or whatever. You could probably find room for Mime or something like that if you're worried about sniping. But for the most part, I think I'm okay with this. So that's our Pokemon lineup. Pretty simple, just kind of 4 of all of these things. So item cards, we start with 2 copies of Level Ball. And so this is just to be able to help us search out our Pokemon a little more. We've got every Pokemon in the deck except for Shaman accessible by Level Ball. So a really good option to have. We have a special charge to get back our energy since we only play 4 double colorless. 2 Super Rod as well to get our Pokemon back when they get knocked out or if we have to Sycamore away the evolutions. If Parallel City knocks them out of play, you know, that's a thing. So 2 Super Rods and then 4 Trainer Mail, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, just the norm. Not really much else to say about that. Supporter line, we have 3 Sycamores, just basic discard, draw 7. And then 1 N and 1 Giovanni, which could be used as a draw power supporter, I guess, if you want. It's more there to get the extra 20 so that Raichu can hit 180. Of course, you have Golbat. You put a couple of those down, you can be hitting 220. So you got a knockout there on a Mega. So that's kind of cool. We have a bunch of other one-of supporters. We got Karen to work with our 2 Super Rod just to make sure we don't run out of resources. Might not need all that, but we're working with it for now. It's been working out. And then 1 Hex. And then we have our 1 Lysander. Pokemon Ranger. This is primarily to deal with Giratina, because if Giratina Chaos Wheels, it'll knock us out and lock us out of our Skyfield and our double colorless energy. So then you just want to be able to Ranger, and then you just draw more off Shaman and try to set up your board again for the next turn. And then 1 Teammates, because our stuff, again, low HP, gets knocked out frequently. Just be able to consistently set up more and more attackers to keep things flowing. 4 Skyfield, obviously, to boost up our bench space so that we can manage OHKOs with the help of Golbat or Giovanni or our next card, Bursting Balloon. We run 4 of these, the Spiny Whoopee Cushion of Death, as I like to call it. Being able to lay down 60 damage or deter an opponent from attacking for a turn, either way helps us get an easier knockout, and then allow Circle Circuit to finish the job. 2 Floatstones, just in case Shaman were to get Lysandered up, we want to be able to get that out of the active. Golbat and Raichu both have free retreat, so there's that. And then 4 double colorless just to round things out as our energy of choice. So that is our 60 cards, and we're going to go ahead and take this and play a couple of games. Oh, same types we're playing. Alright, well, I guess let's see what's going on here. That could also just be a Rainbow Road. I just see that Xerneas coin, and brings that thought into my head, too. Alright, oh, do people actually call Tails on here? Oh, I didn't know that. I just figured everybody called heads. Guess that's not the case. Alright, so we start with, can we use that as 4 Pikachus? Can we turn that into 4 Raichus, you know, and, like, jumbo our attack? Alright, oh, it's Rayquaza. Okay, very, very inviting matchup. Gotta say I love this. He'll even possibly put the Skyfield down for us. Oh, wait, what? Raylink Parallel City. Oh, what is this sorcery? Not entirely sure what I'm looking at here. Since when does Rayquaza play Parallel? Oh, what on earth? Alright, well, we're going to see an Ultra Ball here for a Hoopa and open the floodgates, yo. So we see Jolteon, Shaman, Ray. Yeah, nothing too scary. Jolteon doesn't really, I mean, we're all evolutions anyway. So here's a 5-card setup. Still a little weirded out by this Parallel City coming down from a Rayquaza player. That's a little, I mean a lot unusual. So Spirit Link, Evolution, Mega, and then he ends his turn. So interesting that I guess because it's active, but that you would Mega the one with the link when your turn is ending. I would think you would just hard Mega one that doesn't have a link then. Anyway, we're gonna go find something. Let's see here. What do we want? I'm gonna want a Shaman off that Ultra Ball, so let's probably just gonna start discarding Golbats here anyway. So we'll take a Pikachu. Not that way. Alright, we'll discard these 2. Go find a Shaman. And we can't, I mean, all we could do is Nuzzle right here, so I think we attach to the benched one. Go ahead and throw the balloon on there. And we will set up here for 5 cards. And unfortunately, we're not going to find the Skyfield here, so we're just going to put another Pikachu down, and we're going to end up throwing 2 Golbats in this first hand, which kind of sucks. But we do find 3 Skyfields now. So no problem putting one of those on the board. We'll put a Zubat down with it. We'll put another Bursting Balloon into play. And next turn we'll have the Super Rod ready to get those Golbats back. And potentially a Pikachu that gets blown up by Emerald Break. Or whatever he chooses to knock out. So there's the Lightning Energy. Another Shaman, so a 3-card setup. And don't you dare parallel me again. Although I guess if you do, I'll just discard Shaman. So he is going to Lysander, probably just... Oh, he is going to take out the Pikachu with the energy. I figured he was going to go for the Shaman there, take the 2. He goes for the Pikachu, so he's going to get that double colorless off the board. But unless he drops a Rattata here, which is a very real possibility, that Bursting Balloon will blow up in his face. We'll see if he runs the Rattata. Seems like that would be a good play. Instead, he grabs a Jirachi. So, Stardust Jirachi is just going to sit there for now. There's a Versus Seeker. He's going to grab the Sycamore back. So, one puzzle at a time. I don't even know why you bother doing that if you're just going to play a Sycamore here in a second. Although, no, he Lysandered this turn. Never mind. Don't listen to me there. Alright, so Emerald Break hits us for a whopping 210 damage. But I find myself okay with that. So we're actually going to bring the Zubat up. See if we can't find the Golbat and then retreat. We do find a Shaman. Of course, we got a couple of useless Skyfields in hand. So we're going to send 2 Golbats and a Pikachu back into the deck. And then we'll do a 3-card setup. And, alright, so we find 2 Raichus and a Golbat. We find all of our stage 1s that we needed. Perfect numbers on both of them. So we can do that, and let's see, we're already hitting 160, so that'd be 2... Alright, so we're already hitting enough to knock that out. So I think we start going after something on the bench now. We can start laying into something. Let's just start picking on this thing. I don't really know what else to pick on at the moment. So we'll Sycamore those away, and of course we don't draw an energy, so we're left to a Shaman for 1 here to try and hit this double colorless, and that's not happening. Alright, so I guess the Golbat is just going to stay there. We know he's gonna, unless he topped a VS Seeker, we know he's just gonna go Sycamore this turn. So we do see a double colorless go on to a Rayquaza. Here's a Trainer's Mail. So he grabs a Hex Maniac. He could do that if he wanted, but we don't have any Zubats in play, so it doesn't really seem like an ideal choice. Instead, he just opts for the Sycamore. The Bats don't really do a whole lot in this matchup. But we do see he just Sycamores, and he's just going to knock out the Golbat with Emerald Break. Now, we're not going to have a lot of things here. We do have Teammates in the discard pile, which is probably going to be our play for this turn. So we already have enough Pokemon on the bench to make stuff happen. So we're just going to Versus Seeker here, I think, and grab the Teammates. And we can go fetch a pair of double colorless energies out of the deck by doing this. Which isn't the worst idea. Although I think in this case we're just going to take the 1 because I also want... Let's see, do we want the N? I feel like the N isn't really a bad option, but we're just going to... Let's just stick with the 2 energies for now. So we can do that. We can also Level Ball here, pull another Zubat from the deck, since we already have a Pikachu in play. So we can put the Zubat down, evolve the Pikachu, and we can Circle Circuit here for plenty of damage. Enough to knock out the Ray if it were at full health. So we'll get our knockout that way. We find Karen and Raichu in the prizes. And so that'll make things interesting. And we also have the Ranger in hand and ready to go if he chooses to bring the Jirachi up. Which is another good thing to just kind of have on hand and ready if we need it. So, okay, 1 energy down, 2 here. Let's see, 1 on board, 1 in hand. Last one is in the deck. We see Jolteon at least temporarily come up. And there's the energy onto Jirachi. So it looks like we will see a Stardust here. And the other thing we could try to do is just Sky Return this thing into a knockout. We could evolve into Golbat, hit it for 20, and then Pokemon Ranger. So we're going to go ahead and play this Ranger. And then we're going to evolve into Golbat here. Take the 20 damage right there. And let's see if we find a Bursting Balloon here. Nope. Alright, so that's not going to be a thing. We'll take the Float Stone. And then we can just retreat into a Shaman, attach this energy, and we'll just go ahead and take our knockout this way. And we'll just bring the Golbat up. Much easier Sacrificial Lamb that way. So getting that prize doesn't really do a whole lot unless he puts another single prize attacker down. But at least we get a wall threat out of our way. I mean, granted, we could have Lysandered and taken something out, but then we would just lose our energy again. And that's not ideal, so... Okay, so he Ultra Balls here for a Mega Ray. So there's a Dragonite, so he's going to be able to pull the Jirachi and the basic Rayquaza back from the discard pile here. So plenty of recovery options. The Jirachi, of course, comes right back down into play. And now we don't have any energy on the board right now, so we can try to pick that thing off with this Lysander in hand. We do see a Shaman here for 3 cards. And we may also be able to get some draws off of the Shaman that we Sky Returned with. Do see a Mega Evolution on Rayquaza, but that ends the turn. So, let's see here. We can Ultra Ball away the Karen, and we can probably toss the Sycamore as well. And we can go and find another Pikachu since we have the Raichu in hand. So go ahead and put that down. And let's see. I'm going to go ahead and arm one of these Raichus. Go ahead and throw a Bursting Balloon on it while we're at it. We're going to Lysander up the Jirachi. And I'll take some more cards with Shaman here. Alright, so that works out okay. All we got right now in there is a Zubat and a Golbat, so no point in super rotting at the moment. But we will Circle Circuit here. Pick up a knockout on the Jirachi, so... The 2 knockouts on the Jirachi do end up coming back because he put it down a second time, so we can take advantage of that. And now we're just one EX KO away from the win. We do have a Versus Seeker in hand to either acquire teammates or the Lysander, depending on what we end up needing, which I'm guessing is going to be teammates here. But if he wants to leave that in the active, be my guest, you know? I don't care. I mean, we'll just blow the thing away with the next Raichu up. So we do see an energy, Mega Turbo to the Mega, and from hand to the Jolteon. Here's a Shaman for 3. And here's a Float Stone on the Dragonite. I think he's weak to Lightning too. Yeah. So there's a Super Rod. So we're going to see... What's it going to bring back? Probably the Mega Rayquaza and the Jirachi. Alright, yeah. Rayline and the Jirachi come back. Still waiting for the N. Okay, so there's... Nope, he's going to... Okay, so he goes for the Lysander here. Now, we've got Float Stones, so you won't stall us out with a Shaman. Not sure what you're going to really try to do here. Instead, he just Emerald breaks the active Raichu. And that will be the game, because we can teammates into the deck for the last double colorless. And we already have enough things on the bench. So we can just do that. And then here we got a special charge just to make sure. But I'm pretty sure there's still one left anyway. We'll just do that. We can VS Seeker here. Pick up the teammates. Go into the deck. Yeah, we still had one in the deck. So we just do that. And then Circle Circuit will get us the knockout. So just like that. Of course, taking advantage of weakness is always a big factor, but that's a good matchup, and so Raichu is able to just kind of, you know, get the job done on that front, just keep enough things on the bench, able to work around that Jirachi. Pokemon Ranger definitely showing its worth right there. So that's one game, and we're going to go ahead and do another. Okay, Psychic stuff. I want that Totodile coin. Someone hook me up with one of those. I have it in real life. I want it on here. Like, flipped out with every deck that I don't use Lugia with. Okay, so this hand, well, I mean, I guess we have an N. That's kind of what we're working with here. Not as good as last time, that's for certain. For sure, whatever. Okay, so he starts with a Rattata. Rats. Card's actually really good, though. Okay, so he Ultra Balls away Team Flare Grunt, and we're going to see Lugia come out now. Again, that's something that we hit for weakness, so I'm more than okay with that. Fairy Energy goes down, which almost makes me think Gardevoir. No, it's actually similar, except for that Lugia sitting there and the Flare Grunt. Like, I don't know what we're looking at. Might just be kind of like the deck I did for my birthday last week with Lugia. So Fighting Fury Belt goes into play. Not really sure what we do here besides the N. Go ahead and throw a Skyfield down, I guess. And we could put the balloon, I suppose. That works. And we'll end. Yeah. That's pretty much what's going on. Okay. So we don't draw much here either. We can Ultra Ball for a Pikachu. And I kind of hesitant to lay an energy, but I guess since we have, since it's on the bench and we have special charge, be okay with it. Try to get another card with Shaman here. So we will set up for a bunch, play another one of these things, get another, actually, you know what, let's get a Zubat. Alright. And I think we'll just sit on it like this. So he plays a red card, shuffles a 5-card hand back. We get 4. We get the Sycamore and a Level Ball and 2 Pikachus, though. Can't complain there. He does Enhanced Hammer away our energy. But outside of that, we got a pretty darn good hand. So he puts a Mew down, Fury Belts the Shaman, and then Sycamore's away another Sycamore and a Crushing Hammer. Now, if he evolves the Rattata, he could knock the Zubat out. It would be 60 damage from the 1 energy, but he would also be knocked out himself by courtesy of Bursting Balloons. So he discards a Grass Energy and a Switch there with Ultra Ball, grabs a Shaman. Wish I had enough Evolutions energy to build my decks around him. Not quite there yet. Still working on it. Alright, so he passes his turn, so we draw Raichu, we can bring that into play. Throw a couple of Pikachus down, and we may be able to get a knockout on this thing with a couple of Golbats. We're going to go find the first one right now. None of them are prized, that's good to see. So we can bring one into play. Put 20 damage right there on the Rattata, and if we get another one, which we can off of this Ultra Ball, throw the two supporters, go find another Golbat. And that'll give us an easy knockout here. So he'll probably bring the Mew up here. It's still one prize. It's free retreat. There's a lot of benefits there going for it. So we'll go ahead and put a Shaman down, grab a couple of cards. And that finds us a Raichu, but not much else, so... Nothing, nothing whatsoever there. So we're going to get another 2-card setup here. And once again, we hit nothing. Oh, geez. Okay, so that was, I mean, I guess it's not an entirely wasted turn, but it wasn't, it could have been so much more. And it wasn't. So we pass. He puts another Lugia down. These are all delicious treats for Raichu. We see he puts a Shaman down. First time in one of his EXs wasn't full art. Interesting. Also got full art Sycamores to boot. Yep, still Evolution's Energy. Alright, so another Rattata comes down. I'm guessing he's running the Raticate. And we do see Verse Seeker Sycamore here. He discards Dragonite, Verse Seeker, and 2 Crushing Hammers. And so we'll see Encounter here. He's going to search his deck for a Pokemon. So that will be Raticate. Yep. And passes his turn. So we hit another Raichu. We can evolve both of these Pikachus. And I think we can actually play the N here. Off the Versus Seeker. Hold on to some of our Stadium cards, our Float Stone. Kind of preserve a few resources here by doing that. And of course, you know, the penalty we get for that is we whiff the double colorless, so go figure. Go ahead and Trainer's Mail, and what's in the discard pile? Whole lot of nothing. Alright, we'll take the Float Stone. And those Golbats aren't doing anything for us either, so again, we'll just kind of pass the turn, you know. Let things happen. Right, or not Raichu, Raticate still isn't quite hitting enough damage to finish this guy off. It's actually not OHKOing anything, since we're all 70 plus. He's only doing 60 at the moment. So we're kind of having to grind it out at the moment here. We got these two. I guess if we could we could Verse Seeker for the Sycamore here, because we do still have a pair of Super Rods left. So we can increase our odds of drawing the double colorless by a pretty substantial margin in that manner. Not only drawing 2 more cards than we would normally, or 2 more cards than we would normally, but also just by being able to eliminate some cards that are not the ones we're looking for. So he Ultra Balls again. We see a Fighting Energy, which is interesting. Grabs another Raticate. So that goes into play. And that gets a Psychic Energy. Let's see if he decides to bring it up now. I would think that that would wait until next turn. But Mew's not really doing much other than Encounter at the moment. So he is going to go ahead and use Encounter again here. Maybe search for like a Shaman or something. Alright, instead he grabs another Mew. Okay. Well, I can get behind that temporarily. We'll play Trainer's Mail. Okay, I don't want any of that. I guess I could have pulled a Skyfield, but whatever. So we're going to float one of our Shamans, and we're just going to Versus Seeker here, grab the Sycamore, and start rolling, hopefully. So 2 Golbats get tossed out. We do find some energy finally. Get another Zubat, so we'll be able to recycle those Golbats here pretty soon. And I'm going to go ahead and start circle circuiting here for some damage. 160, and we'll claim a prize card. So there's Karen. Not sure how much that's going to help us right now. Not really wanting to shuffle that Dragonite back into his deck at this point. So Raticate will come up, and if he has an Enhanced Hammer or a Team Flare Grunt, he can knock us out with Raticate. And we do have Versus Seeker handy for the Lysander as well. So instead he plays a red card, sends our hand back down to 4. We do see a Shaman, Giovanni, and the double colorless there, but we don't have the Lysander anymore. So Lugia will knock out Raichu, which is just going to turn into a return knockout here in a second. And we do have enough Raichus to make this happen. So we will attach a double colorless. And let's see here. I think we go ahead and we Shaman. Alright, so that grabs us some more stuff. And we can actually play the Karen now. Not the worst time in the world to do that. Just kind of hoping we'd hit the special charge, but that's just not a thing right now. So 2 double colorless down, 1 here, 1 there still. We've got Versus Seekers ready. So we're just going to Circle Circuit here for way more than enough. Pick up a knockout. Alright, and we find the teammates now as well. So Raticate's going to come up and probably just kill us. So hopefully he doesn't have the N, which we pretty much know he will, or another red card, although N would be far more devastating here. He attaches an energy, lays a Mew down. We see a Max Elixir. First time we've seen that all game. And nothing else, so we do get knocked out by Raticate. That's 1 prize, but Raichu is just going to come up. We can Lysander, and we can win. So we're going to go ahead and VS Seeker here. Grab the Lysander out of the sinkhole. Use that and bring the Lugia up. And double colorless is a thing. And we'll Circle Circuit one last time for the knockout. So we come away with a win there. And of course there's the special charge and the prizes along with the second Super Rod. So we were able to take Raichu Golbat the distance in that matchup too. So just kind of holding energy and waiting. We saw him discard some hammers early on. We can take advantage of that. And the lack of Giratina in his list definitely proved to be a big factor, I think, in that game. Because Giratina could have messed us up pretty badly. So anyway, that is Raichu Golbat. We're going to go ahead and call that a vid for today. And I will see you guys again on Wednesday with another deck. Cheers.